The Circus Sea, inspired by the clown, a watercolor by Irving Stettner. Apollinaire dreamt himself Harlequin, yellow, red, blue, chartreuse, blue-green, sea-green, dreamt about a mermaid scooting above his face, like an angelfish, only blue-breasted and purple-finned, his pom-pom dunce cap atop his head. He dreamt that old Harlequin was dead, white blank eyes totally dimmed, while from his cheek darted an angelfish. Apollinaire dreamt Harlequin clowned for queen of the Mediterranean, a mermaid with blue breasts and purple fin. Dream babbling, transforming absinthe to mud, he arose from the muck, kissing a bud. Well, isn't there a lot to talk about here? Apollinaire and Irving Stettner. Let's start with Irving Stettner. He was the last, for me, the last bohemian troubadour on the Lower East Side and the East Village. He was the real deal. He lived in an SRO. That meant single room occupancy. There were buildings in those days where if you were impoverished or broke and you needed a room, you could rent a room on a floor in a building, a house, whatever, and shared bath and so forth. All of that seems to have disappeared in, excuse me, corporate-controlled, nice and shiny New York, the Mall. In any case, Stetner was great, and he, I'm proud to say, was a watercolorist. I collected a number of his watercolors, and Henry Miller, the writer, philosopher, bon vivant, etc., he was also a big collector of Stetner's watercolors. And he was a contributor to Stetner's little magazine, Stroker, to which I was also a contributor, where this poem, which is an ekphrastic sonnet, okay? It rhymes, I believe. Let's see, I haven't looked at this in a long time. This was from like 1982. All right. I believe this, this is an ekphrastic sonnet, rhymes to the middle of the first 12 lines as I write them. I've been writing them that way for decades, as I've said. And Apollinaire was, of course, the early 20th century Polish-French poet who was buddies with Picasso, and I believe he invented the form where you could write a poem and make the form the words on the page. I have to look up what that. There's actually a term, I'm sure, for that. But so that the words on it, say you write a poem about a seahorse, and the poem itself on the page looks like a seahorse. So Apollinaire liked to do that. Stetner also enjoyed doing that. He was, to my mind, Irving Stettner was our William Blake of our period. He was kind of shunned by, or I don't want to say shunned, but ignored by the Ivy League MFA poets, both beatnik and otherwise, who were prevalent. Although some people did like him. He was friends with Ted Berrigan. He was friends with Seymour Krim, the old Village Voice writer, and so forth. It was quite an amazing guy, Stetner. And of course, Apollinaire was quite amazing in his way. Stetner, I actually have an unpublished manuscript of his he left with me. He married when he was in his 70s, he married a young Japanese woman, moved to Japan. And when he came back, I could no longer afford his watercolors. He became quite popular there. In any case, I have these poems that he left with me that I will start, I'll record some of them in the near future. I have to go up to my storage unit and get that manuscript, but I have to go up there for some other things too soon. So I will. In any case, the thumbnail today is this painting, which is called The Clown. He called it The Clown. And so you can look at it. Once I get a real camera, rather than using my phone, I'll be able to download stuff to my computer and edit it. And I could put then, like, instead of seeing my face here, you could see the painting, the watercolor that I'm talking about. For now, you have to look at the front image. Maybe I can post an image in the comments, and I'll try that. I will also post this sonnet in the comments. I thank you all for tuning in. I thank you for liking, subscribing, especially. As I've said before, once I had 1,000 subscribers, YouTube's going to start paying me. I think I'm up to 318 today, so there's a little ways to go. I'm counting on you folks. I love you all for just tuning in and listening to poetry and watching Ye Old Internet Bard. I don't have a lot more to say today, so I'm going to read it again. The Circus Sea, inspired by the clown, a watercolor by Irving Stettner. Apollinaire dreamt himself Harlequin, yellow, red, blue, chartreuse, blue, green, sea green, dreamt about a mermaid scooting above his face like an angelfish, only blue-breasted and purple-finned. His pom-pom dunce cap atop his head, he dreamt that old Harlequin was dead. White blank eyes totally dimmed, while from his cheek darted an angelfish. Apollinaire dreamt Harlequin clowned for the queen of the Mediterranean, a mermaid with blue breasts and purple fin. Dream babbling, transforming absinthe to mud, he arose from the muck, kissing a bud. Again, thank you for tuning in. I really love it. I love you for watching my poems, reading my poems if you read them in the comments, and so on and so forth. Thank you again. Another internet broadcast day, yes. So it ends right now with the old internet bar.